There are tons of martial art styles out there, and it's so easy to get caught up which martial art style is the most effective. In my opinion, it's not a matter of what martial art style is the most effective, as that really boils down to the practitioner. Don't seek just one style to supersede all other styles. What truly matters is that you learn multiple styles and you eventually learn how to make it your own. In today's video, guys, I'm gonna talk about why it's important to cross-train in different martial art styles, from the do's and don'ts when you're learning different martial art styles, how to appropriately and effectively combine them, and finally, when you have learned all of these different martial art styles, you learn how to express it the way you like to express it. With that said, let's dive in on why you should learn multiple martial art styles. The first thing is that it gives you more variety. Having more variety gives you more control over other variables. For instance, learning how to combine a grappling and striking art together. You don't want to just learn one striking art and just think that you mastered it all. Same thing with one grappling art. You want to combine both of these. For instance, when you look at Georges St-Pierre, the dude was an incredible striker and grappler. If you're proficient in both of these styles, that's gonna complete you more as a martial artist, and you're gonna be able to cover more variables. And so God forbid that you get into an altercation, but let's say you do, and the opponent knows how to strike, but you also know how to grapple and strike. At that point, it's rock, paper, scissors. You the rock, you the scissors, and you the paper. If he decides to give you the rock, you have the paper, because you're proficient in two different martial art styles. That's why it's important to have variety. Another important and overlooked aspect when learning different martial art styles is that you improve your athleticism and motor coordination. About 7-8 years ago, when I was competing, I was going against karate guys, and a lot of those karate guys were very linear. For me, I have a boxing background, so it allowed me to go linear, but it also allowed me to go laterally. So when I was doing both point and consecutive sparring with these guys, it wasn't really that difficult to beat them because they were very linear with their approach. So it's great to learn multiple styles because you're gonna improve your athletic ability, your coordination. You wanna be able to absorb these different styles, make it into your own, and then when you go against other guys who might just be more linear, who might not throw kicks, who might not know how to grapple, you have the edge over them because you have that training. Boxing teaches really great footwork. Taekwondo also has amazing footwork. I don't care what people have to say about Taekwondo not having strong and powerful kicks. Do you really think you need to have a strong and powerful kick to knock out the average Joe? People don't understand that the jaw can only take so much force. Believe me, I've been on the other side of that fence when I've been kicked in my head before. I got up and won the battle, but still, it's like, that didn't need to be a devastating kick. All it takes is the right timing hit right on the chin, and most people are gonna be out. So I love the kicking in Taekwondo. My favorite style that I'm learning right now is capoeira. People always come for capoeira like, all that dancing, what is it gonna do for you? But when you really understand what's happening, what is it improving? Your athletic ability, your coordination, your awareness, your body mechanics. All of those are transferable to other martial art styles. Yeah, acrobatics isn't really useful in the actual fight, but if you know how to effectively use your body, you don't think that this person knows how to throw a simple punch or a kick? They're able to do these flashy things because they have great athleticism and motor coordination. Now, it takes discipline to make sure you don't do this flashy stuff in a fight, because the likelihood of you landing a 540 roundhouse on somebody, who's gonna just stand there and take it? But if you're able to do that kick effectively, a 360, a regular roundhouse is nothing for you. So it's great to learn multiple styles. Wrestling has the most amazing training regimen there is. The athletic ability these wrestlers have is crazy. The conditioning that they go through is vigorous. That's gonna transfer into other styles. Side note, I highly advise everybody that's watching this video, go learn wrestling. I don't care what age you are. Wrestling is the way to go, and make sure you go through their training. It may look like they're doing too much, but believe me, it pays dividends. And that ties into my third point. Learning multiple styles will improve your endurance. You need to have a great degree of endurance, especially if you're going against conditioned athletes. So if you're going against other martial artists, they're more than likely going to be conditioned. The average person won't, but why do you want to compete with the average person? Compete against the best. Boxing and wrestling are unmatched when it comes to conditioning. And arguably, I give the edge to wrestling just because the training regimen is crazy. But either direction you choose, learning boxing and or wrestling is gonna improve your overall endurance. I suggest to learn both because you're gonna learn a striking art and a grappling art, and it's great to have both of those at your disposal. The fourth thing I wanna talk about when learning multiple martial art styles is the simple fact that you better understand your opponents and how to counter them uniquely and effectively. For instance, capoeira, taekwondo. When going in the holda and you have, let's say, taekwondo at your disposal, you can throw taekwondo-based kicks. You're gonna catch the other capoeirista off guard. Be careful, because I caught my instructor off guard at one point and he was like, Faísca, you sure you wanna throw that kick again? Because in capoeira, especially my school, if you deliberately throw a head kick, you gotta be prepared for the consequences. And for people who don't know, the holda is basically sparring for capoeiristas. I say all that to say, combining both capoeira and taekwondo makes for a mean combination. So if you see your opponent doing something that you're familiar with, but they might not be familiar with a style that you might have learned, let's say 3-4 years ago, then you can throw that monkey wrench in the bag and that's gonna throw them in a loop. So learning multiple styles is advantageous for you because it's gonna teach you how to counter them effectively and uniquely, and they just gonna be all over the place because at this point they don't know what to do because they've never seen that before. You also learn how to expand your understanding from an applicable and philosophical perspective. As a martial artist, it's not just about throwing your hands, your feet, and learning how to grapple. It's deeper than that. It's a way of life. So if you can learn multiple styles, learn to apply them, but also philosophically apply them, then that makes you more of a completionist. Don't just learn to learn or fight, learn the deeper perspectives of each martial art style that you choose to learn. Because when you learn these different applications, philosophical ideas, you expand your understanding of not only the martial art style, but also yourself. And we know as a martial artist, we have to expand this understanding of ourselves. You also learn how to have a deeper appreciation for different cultural practices and norms. Learning Wing Chun taught me a better understanding and appreciation for Chinese cultural martial arts. It's just really important when learning different martial art styles to expand your consciousness because it permits you to make a stronger connection with people around the world. Those are gonna be your positives when learning different martial art styles. But we gotta talk about the drawbacks. And the biggest drawback of them all is the fact that you may be underspending your time because you're bouncing back with all these different martial art styles, all these different options. You never learn to commit to just one for the time being and eventually make your way to the other style. It's not that it's a bad thing becoming a jack of all trades and a master of none, but I highly recommend for you guys to become at least a master of one martial art style. Despite the common notion a jack of all trades is a master of none and that's a bad thing, it's not necessarily a bad thing. Because if you're proficient in multiple different things, that means you're well balanced. Now, a specialist, depending if he has your card or not, he may just have you be because he's a specialist. And if that person is indeed a specialist, but also dibble and dabble with other martial art styles, that could be a problem. So you wanna make sure you at least specialize in one. Another drawback when learning different martial art styles is don't just go to an MMA gym and just learn everything at once. Break it down. Learn wrestling from a wrestling coach. Learn boxing from a boxing coach. Muay Thai from a Muay Thai coach. And then go into an MMA gym. The art style that you wanna learn from that specialist. Don't go to a generalist. They may indeed know a lot, but they may not know the minute details that you need to really succeed. And what I finally wanna leave you guys off with is how to properly combine them and to make it your own style. Throughout my life, I learned a variety of different martial art styles. Wing Chun, boxing, taekwondo, some Brazilian jiu-jitsu, and now capoeira. I would say the closest thing to mastery I have will be taekwondo and boxing. Everything else, I'm kind of more like a generalist. And I'm not saying I'm a complete master that I know every single thing, because it's things that I'm still learning. But I feel comfortable teaching those things because I have a good degree of understanding. Now, with that being said, every art style that you know like the back of your hand. That's a style that serves as your foundation. The things that you're more like, I have a general understanding and application of them, that's like the outer bands of a hurricane. For my meteorologists out there, the outer bands are gonna produce the tornadoes, the lightning. Then when you get closer to the eye of the hurricane, the winds change, more horizontal winds, so they're not producing lightning, they're not producing tornadoes, but packs a strong punch. That's how I correlate your foundational martial art style being the eye, and then the outer bands being like your secondary martial arts skills. Now, as time progresses, you can fine-tune those outer bands, those secondary martial arts skills, and make them stronger into little hurricanes. That's what ultimately completes you as a martial artist. That's why I think you guys should learn how to create your own style. Create your own spin-off. Don't be afraid to express yourself. That's all I want to give you guys for today. You know what to do with the rest of this video. If you enjoyed it, smash that like button. Most importantly, make sure you are properly subscribed. You know what that means. Notification bell is turned on. I'm gonna see you guys next video. Peace and love as always. And ashe! Boom! We out, baby. Okay, what did you want to tell the people?
Ashe, boom, a baby.
Perfect.